Hi friends, it's me, Smo. It's Sunday night, and I'd like to share a little story with you tonight. I just came back from a recovery meeting, and this particular meeting is really special to me because it's the very same meeting that I went to 5 years ago this very night. And when I attended that meeting, it was my first 12-step recovery meeting for families and friends of alcoholics. And I went to that meeting feeling in a lot of pain because it was a holiday weekend and I was in a situation where there was active alcoholism in my life, and the person in my life that I loved very much was already drunk and had been drunk all weekend and didn't want to go anywhere and didn't want to do anything and didn't want to talk to anybody. And I was feeling really, really lonely. I was feeling really, really angry. I was feeling really frustrated because I was 15 miles and embarrassed, and I was feeling exceptionally lonely because I was living 1,500 miles away from all of my friends and my family. So I went into this meeting, and it was very unsettling for me because I couldn't understand how all of these people that were there, and it was a pretty full room, and I sat up against the back wall and I was listening to all these people talk, and everybody was so darn happy. And I didn't understand that. And what's there to be cheerful about? I've got a guy at home that I love a lot, but he's a drunk and he can't stand up straight and he can't put two sentences together, and he's being verbally abusive with me. And my life is a hot mess, and I'm not happy. And I was just really confused, and I just kept listening. And then all of a sudden, I heard my friend Marilyn. And it was the first night I met Marilyn, and she starts talking, and she starts telling a little bit about her own personal story, and then I heard her say that she lost her husband to addiction, and she lost her ex-husband to addictions and alcoholism, and that brought me to tears, because you know what? I thought my life was hard. And I thought my life was a mess, and I was really frustrated, but it was really nothing compared to what this woman had been through. So it was a moment of humility there for a moment, but what really astonished me was how much she could express love and gratitude. Gratitude for having them in her life even though they were really sick, and how her own recovery helped her rehabilitate a relationship with another family member. Well, you know what? That really inspired me, and I stayed, and I kept going to those recovery meetings, and I kept listening to those stories, and I started to do the work that was asked of me to do, that was suggested that I do if I wanted to feel better about my situation and or about my family. It wasn't that long. It was only 14 months after I sat in that meeting when the man I was married to died from his alcoholic drinking. And the day after he died, I went to a meeting. And standing in the parking lot of the church where this meeting was held was my friend Marilyn. And she lives full-time in my hometown, actually, where I'm from. And but she comes down and she visits and lives here part-time. And she stood there in the parking lot, and I saw her when I pulled up and got out of my car, and she stood there with her arms wide open, and all she said to me was, "Shannon, I flew in to be with you." I'll never forget that moment, because what I was dealing with at that particular time was anything but unconditional love amid the family disease of alcoholism. And my experience of the past, either growing up in the disease or with other extended family members, all I've ever experienced and witnessed was fight and flight, duck and cover, retaliate and retract, and isolate. So to have someone there who I really barely was only just getting to know, actually make the effort to come and fly into town the day after my husband died, because she knew exactly how it felt, and she understood exactly what I was going through. And in that moment, my life completely changed, and I was now a lot more like her than I ever imagined. Marilyn, I know you're going to see this video because we talked about me telling this story. And I just want to say thank you. I'll never forget it. I'm thinking of you tonight, and I'll look forward to seeing you soon that I can give you a hug. The family disease of addiction is real, it's serious, and you're never alone. You're not alone. And recovery for me reminded me that I was not alone, and believe it or not, I was going to be okay. Whether the alcoholic or the addicts in my life were not, I was still going to be okay. But my recovery was what I had to do to help get that way and to get there. I'm really grateful for it. I hope this resonated with you. If it did, please share it. Please talk about it. Continue the conversation. And more importantly, if you're struggling and you're suffering and you're feeling alone, you're feeling angry and you're feeling lost, you're feeling confused, embarrassed, and in pain and worry, reach out for help. There is help for you. Take care of you. And together we can make it. National Recovery Month. Use the hashtag Recovery Month. And let's keep the conversation going and keep recovery available for the next person who walks in the rooms feeling the way I did. I know I'm going to be there to do it, and that is why I do it. Have a great night, everybody. Peace. I love you. Until next time, take care.